check. I need the survivors on table 11 and 12. You are on the clock. The survivors to 11 and 12. If you have any 9 a.m. TDOs, the TDO is now fine. Please check the brackets for all matches. All 9 a.m. TDOs are now live. Good morning, all my cool friends. I have this wonderful raffle still going around. It is the Pizza Custom Limited Edition. It is number 6 of only 75 of them made. It's huge. There's 3,400. The prize package is $3,630. Our tickets are $20 for one, which is a good deal. And you can go to the website. It's 7 for 100. Comes with a 4x8 case. Of course, as always. And as it was put up here, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get these tickets and get a new owner of this wonderful youth package. Let's all have some fun and happy shooting. THEROY bring us the number associated with your name or give you an input.
At BiggleBox.com, you're not just a customer, you're the king. Join our rewards program and watch the perks rain down on you. BiggleBox.com, where kings are made.
All right, I'm going to come in and do a little bit of commentary for these teams here. Welcome, welcome. It is Friday morning in Lincoln City, Oregon. We've got the Big Break Theory versus Bob and Son. John Tell with the break. And we got Martin Chavez coming up to the table off the dry break. He's taking on Stripes with the 10 ball, and he's going to be focused on how to loosen up this cluster here. That's the challenge. Everything else seems to go to the pocket. The 12 ball's got a line to the pocket. It's just the 11 that you have to be concerned about. And not the 11, sorry, the 13 that you have to be concerned about. He wants a nice, slight little angle on the 11. I think he might have gotten a little too steep on this ball to get the breakout that he really wants. And the Big Break Theory is comprised of Trevor Sickendick, Alex Brown, Julian Rogmans, and Jontel Baratula. Very nice shot from Martin right there. And Bob and Sons is Bob Olson, Dave McDowell, Dylan Helfinson, and Martin Chavez. And this is Martin Chavez at the table and going to work. He has tied up the 12 ball a little bit, so I think more work may need to be done here. And with this angle, he might be looking to bank that 12 out of there because I don't think he's getting the breakout with this angle that he's got. It's just too slight. If the 12 still plays to the bottom left corner, you might be able to draw this cue ball back into this area up here. And that's what he's looking at to see how high up he can be. So it looks like it's really close to the 8. This may not be a good option. You might have to play for the bank shot here and just leave the cue ball. Try to stun the cue ball, get it here, and then bank that 12 ball cross side. That might be your best bet. And let's see what he's got. He's winding up. Yeah, it looks like he was trying to draw into it. He just didn't have the angle. He didn't have the angle to draw into the 12. So I think he didn't want to settle for shape for a bank shot. He was really hoping to just clip that 6 on the way up. And it was just really difficult with how straight the angle was. He didn't have the ability to move the cue ball up that far. All right, so ball in hand. All right, so Julian now with the ball in hand. I feel like if he asks a ref to get the template rack out, he might be told no. I would tell him no. Sorry. That would be nearly impossible to pull all those balls off and put them back exactly where they were. So he's just going to play a little bit of a safety here. He wants him to see the ball. He wants him to be able to hit the 12 ball. But this is a really smart play because from this position, you not only have to hit the 12, but you also have to hit a rail, which means that you're going to have to hit it hard enough to loosen stuff up. And I think the best play, he's going to pocket the 3 and give up ball in hand. That's not a bad idea. I was thinking there was another play at the cue ball right here. I was thinking he could have tried to push this 5, into the 1 and 2 ball. And then it would have glanced off and moved the cue ball to the rail over here to get the rail an illegal hit instead of giving the intentional ball in hand. But this is not bad either. So he's taken away that 3 ball, which is really the key for Julian to be able to have an easy time breaking out this cluster. Okay. So Julian plays safe. This is a bit of a strategy situation. How do you get the advantage? I mean, how does Martin get any kind of advantage when he only has one ball left and it's tied up? Julian's not going to just open it up for him. He's smarter than that. He's a very smart player, very capable. So Julian wants to force him to break something up. But Martin is going to go ahead and take another intentional foul, trying to put the 7 on the rail in a more difficult spot. I mean, it's not a bad idea to pocket a couple of balls for Julian anyway, to pocket a couple of balls and then play a safety where you can stick the cue ball right to the 5 and loosen those up afterwards. That's not a bad play if Julian wanted to go on the offense. But I think he's really wanting to see if Martin will take a couple of swings somewhere at this 12 ball. But Julian now, ball in hand. Having a discussion about what he's doing here. I can't hear them, so I'm not sure what the discussion is. Really interesting little puzzle here. This is where 8-ball becomes strategic. It's not just a run-out game. This is the part of the game where you really have to employ some thinking skills. Okay, he's calling the 1, and it looks like he might be going to try to push the cue ball forward into the 5. Not sure I really like that. If that's what he's doing, it'll probably work out okay, but you have the potential to tie up your 5 to the 8-ball and open up his 12-ball if this is what he's doing, and it looks like it is. Okay, so that is exactly what happened. He has opened up the 12 and tied up his 5. And that's not really great for Julian and the big break theory. This team's match is halfway through at 5-5 in a deadlock. First round, 9 a.m. Friday morning. Platinum teams. And if you guys are new to the teams mode for EvoSports, we have a separate stream for each of the 2 teams' tables. So nice shot there from Julian. I think he might have left an edge, and this is where I probably am calling over a ref to remove the template rack, especially if you're going to roll the cue ball over. It doesn't look like he's left him the edge, though. So Martin kicking at the 12. Not kicking it with any kind of pace, making sure that he keeps that 5 and 8 intact. Julian's going to play safe and thin off the edge of the 5. This is a good one. This is a good safe. I like his choice here because it was just a natural line to open up the 5, and now Martin is in a big trouble. He's calling the kick shot. I am definitely getting that rack off of the table because he's going to have to kick this with some side spin. And when you're hitting over the template rack with side spin, I don't like that because it can change the angle. It can change the spin a little bit on the ball. Just, oh, heck of a try from Martin. He couldn't have come much closer. All right. Now we have a rackectomy to perform from Julian. Successful. Julian is a 570 Fargo. And meanwhile, his partner, John Tell, is at the table next door on table 1. So there is a separate stream for each table. So if you go to the EvoSports Pool Tournaments YouTube channel, which is where we're streaming these, the same channel that you're watching this on, if you just close out this particular video and go back to the channel, you'll see another live stream for table 1, which will have the other action on it. So all of the strategy play now is gone. It's time to just go ahead and make balls and see how it works out. Chantel has earned his path to the open table out. Not sure he wanted the 6 ball to be the key ball for the 8. I think he wanted the 2 ball to be that key ball because it just naturally gets you to the 8 so much easier, I feel like anyway. Getting to the 8 ball from the 6 ball is not hard, but it's not as natural, in my opinion. But either one works fine. He's capable of getting shape anywhere on the table off that 6 ball. I like the Dunder Mifflin shirt. Big fan of The Office. Okay, stunning the cue ball right there so that he has that natural line. Let's see if he could do either. He could use low outside or high inside English. Either one can get him on the 8 ball. If you use high inside English, the natural path is to take the cue ball sort of like this. But then you're kind of coming in, this way. If you don't really get that speed right, you could kind of get in trouble. And he's going low outside. And I like this. You are crossing the position line with the cue ball, but he should be okay. Oh, now he's changed his mind. He's looking at high, and now he's going back to low. So he is looking at both. I saw him cueing, practicing the cue stroke on both to see what feels right. Watch out, side pocket. That was definitely on, and oh my goodness. That was one of the things I was thinking about when you're looking at which way to go, top or bottom. Do you want to go forward or you want to go backwards? The top spin was less risky for the scratch, but maybe a touch harder to get positioned. I think the low left that he used was maybe easier to get positioned, but riskier with that scratch. But it stopped just in time, and he has a tester of a straight 8-ball. And he's missed it, and all of that work, it's so frustrating. This game is so frustrating because you put in all of the hard work to get the advantage in the rack, and you've done all of the safety battles, and you've played everything great, and you just don't finish it out when you have the open look. Is so frustrating. And you saw that little bit of frustration from John Tell after missing the 8-ball. And let's see if Martine can take advantage for Bob and Son to give Bob and Son the lead. Drills it. Great shot, Martine. Martine Chavez has been playing some really good pool the last several months, and these teams both are very strong teams. Okay, so Martine to break. He's up again on the same table. Good break. Very solid. Only one minor problem. Looks like the 10 and the 4. A little bit tied up on that right side rail. And he's missed his first shot. Really trying to hammer that thing to try to come up into the 4-ball. So I like stripes here at this point, even though this is an advantage for solids. I like stripes better because you have some opportunity to. You have an opportunity right now if you want to open up the 9, but there's just lots of opportunities, and Alex Brown knows how to manage these types of situations, but he's got the choice of stripes or solids here. Meanwhile, on the other table, John Tell from the Big Break Theory is looking like he's got an opportunity to finish out his rack to tie up the score again at 6-6. Alex swings 2 rails. Great shot. So he's loosened up the 10-ball. That's one problem down. Next one, he's looking immediately at the next problem. It's almost like he didn't even look at the 11 or anything else. He just wants that 14 to bust out the 9 and get all of his problems taken care of right off the bat in the first 2 shots. Oh, and he's missed the 14. He was so focused on the breakout. How many of us have done that? You get really focused on the task of breaking out the balls, and sometimes you take a little effort off the making the shot. And John Tell for Big Break Theory takes down his rack on table 1, and that's going to tie the score up. I didn't see what happened because I was looking at the other table, but somehow Alex has got back to the table with a look. A good head ball break from Bob over there on table 1. Just kind of keeping my eye over there. This is going to be a close match, guys. It's down to a race to 5 between these two teams. So there's, 8-ball cut hit first. And Martine back to the table. With solids and the opportunity. I kind of like actually going, 2 to the 7, because those are the 2 balls that are really a problem for solids. Not really, but they're more difficult. And that is what he's doing. He's got a little angle on the 2 that floats him over to the 7 in the same pocket. And that takes care of those balls that are probably going to be more difficult because of the 9 being blocking the bottom right corner. He's going to use, I think, a lot of inside English to try to pull this cue ball when he hits this rail, to pull the cue ball this direction. Nope, he used outside to get to the 3 ball, and has he made it? He's, boy, just barely. That was a little bit risky, I think, because, but he knows better than I do because he's at the table. I thought, boy, he could have gotten hooked behind that 14. Had nothing to shoot at, but he hit it good. Okay, this is the shot. He's got to avoid the obstacles. Going to go inside on this. Yeah, lots of inside, just to make sure that he completely avoids. That was a ton of inside. That's the way to do it, though. Just make sure. Easy. No problem. Martine gets the lead for big break for Bob and Son. And meanwhile, John Tell over on table 1 is working through some issues on his rack. He's got stripes. All right, I got myself a co-commentator from Medford, Oregon to root on his big break theory. Welcome, Zach.
Thank you.
You're very familiar with these players.
I know 6 of them altogether. I know this whole team, and I know 2 of them.
All right, so Dylan Helfingston at the table now. He's got solids and looking to just open things up and make things difficult. And it looks like Trevor might be bringing his jump cue to the table. Let's see. He doesn't have his jump cue in his hand just yet, but I expect him to pull out because there could be a good reward to jumping this 5 and pocketing the 11. However, I do think that he might be able to see an edge of the 10 without jumping anything at all. It's just where it doesn't really take you anywhere. I don't know. What do you think?
Could almost kick for the 9.
Kick for the 9, you like that?
Table.
That's what he's looking at. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad because it can get you.
Still open. Exactly.
Oh, it's still an open table. Oh.
I was thinking it wasn't open, but that's.
Oh,
better.
that was a beautiful shot then because he not only makes the bank, but he breaks out the 3 ball with the same shot. Great shot, Trevor. That was really nicely done. I didn't know it was open table because I was messing with the headsets here, and the way that Dylan played that safety, an open table safe must have been the only thing he had there. You don't see open table safes that often. You don't want to have to play them because you're giving your opponent every single ball on the table is a target.
Like the most common time for that's when the cue ball gets stuck down here like you did.
Yeah. Usually when you break and the cue ball's down here and there's just really nothing to do.
I try to get just enough low to come into the rail and into the rack and just keep it up there in the middle. Gets kicked around a lot though. I don't know if you can see enough of that too.
I really like the aggressiveness of Trevor coming off early with that bank shot.
To the side.
Okay, tough shot here on the 2.
Oh,
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he even had that pocket. I mean, it looked really close to, like it just would have to. I mean, that's what it was looking like to me. Is he could
Yeah, I
only
thought
see the point almost with
thought the
that.
9 might have been in the way a little, but he got a little too much of it.
Yeah.
Looks like he had the whole pocket. He's not going for 14 here. We're safe.
Okay, interesting safety here because he's, yeah, this is interesting. I think Trevor's going to have some opportunities here. Dylan has not tied up the cue ball.
That 7
It's
definitely
almost like,
doesn't go down
you know,
his side if that's what his
the-
decision there. He would
ye-
leave him that shot.
You know what that shot says to me? Is it says, I dare you.
Mhm.
I challenge you. I don't think you can get out from here. You're going to have to show me something. And it's like, I don't know if I want to do that against Trevor.
No.
I mean, he's a very creative player too, right? And you've given him the full look at several of his balls. He can come up with something, but he's looking like he's going offensive here.
Try to
He's calling
double kiss the 7 or something.
Is that what it's trying to
He's
do?
looking at like the line for the 7
The
to get
double
through
kiss?
the 2 and maybe just draw. He's getting it to roll
7 in the side.
low, put some top on the 7.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Cue ball kicked down to the bottom rail. That's going to help him a little bit.
I think I might have liked trying the 4-3 combo and leaving it right over on the rail.
Yeah.
He's got a tough 13. 13's blocking the 14. No, these don't go down here.
He must not have had a good safety opportunity because that was a pretty aggressive shot, and Trevor is a very smart player that will take the safety route if it's available over the difficult shot. So the safety just might not have been comfortable. I just thought being able to see that much of a couple of his balls, he would find something that could get him back to the table with a better opportunity next time. Let's see. Dylan with a long distance, very straight shot on the 14, or he could cut, or he could play the 10 in the side or 12 in the side. He's going 10 in the side pocket. This is risky for Dylan. If he misses this, it does open up solids quite well. Yeah, this could be bad news for Dylan. And
it's a thin shot on the 5, but that should go.
I'm going to turn up your mic because I know you're a low.
6 ball even.
You're a low talker. I got to turn up that mic.
I try not to yell too much or talk too loud.
Yeah,
the mic is right in front of my mouth, but
I
can hear myself.
Yeah, you can hear. Maybe get the mic a little closer, sort of like right up in there. There you go. Thank you. And that way we can talk softly as well because we don't want the players to hear us, of course. They're just right there.
Right.
I know you can hear yourself very loud. Mm-hmm. I can turn that down for you a little bit so it's not as loud for you.
Just a little bit. Okay, this was mine?
That's your your monitor volume.
I think right up there, so probably good. Looks like it's going 6 in the corner. Got a lot of options after that.
Yeah, that 10 in the side from Dylan was very risky because missing that 10 ball really opened up everything.
Like the 12 would have been an easier shot, but it would still leave the 10 in a tight spot.
Yeah.
That's why he went with that one over the 12. The tighter angle.
Yeah.
Smaller pockets from that angle.
The 4 is the problem for Trevor, and he has the opportunity to just roll his cue ball into this area off of the 7. I think that's the right play here. You want to take that 7-4-3 off the table now so that you don't have to mess with it later. You don't want to have to try to transition from a 3 ball to something down here. It is touchy here. Yeah, he's gotten too far of a roll. He's gone a bit too far.
I would have liked the 2 ball first to get a little bit straighter on that to keep it out to go back around. There, if he cuts the right corner, he's going into those 2 stripes. And
I agree with you. The 2 would have made
a small window to get to the other corner.
I think right. I think the 2-ball would have made things a little easier to execute this pattern, but then you're kind of taking one of the options away. Once you get to the 3 to transition, you would only be able to transition to the 5-ball versus having 2 options to transition down table 2. So I think he might have been thinking about that, is giving himself more options when he gets on the 3-ball. But now he's in a bit of a spot here. Is he going to push forward and miss the 2 with the cue ball? He's not going to miss the 2, but that's okay. It worked out. He came right into the 2. And this is going to be all right. It was a good speed. And meanwhile, Jeantel on table 1, working on a run out.
Dave's
from his table.
Dave's shooting up now. Dave McDowell, table 1.
There are 2 cues by the Mars series. Comes with a maroon case and a 2-inch extension. And also,
All right. Trevor with the transition. This is the transition I was talking about, from the 3 to the 5. Is
Get out
perfect.
far enough to
I think
not have to deal with that 12 ball coming around. It looks like it got a little too much. Didn't come out far enough.
He kind of shook his head like he didn't like it, but I think he's fine.
It's a couple options. You can stun into the 8, push it over, come around it. And
as much as Trevor doesn't like inside English,
bank that.
as much as he doesn't like inside English, I think it's the right play here. I think you check it hard with some inside and bring it back up the same path up to this area here. I think you can bring the cue ball up there. I don't think the angle is very steep, and that's why I say that. But he doesn't like those shots. He would much prefer to use the natural path. But the angle is so slight. And the 12 ball is so big. You know what I mean? You have to make sure you get that cue ball all the way around to the other side of the 12 and don't go too far. Do you know what I'm saying? To get the 8 in the corner, you have to get that cue ball kind of in this position line here to have a good shot at the 8.
And you're looking at that angle off the tangent off the 5. I don't know if he'll play around and just try to leave it here
with some spin
and bank it, or come around and go for that small window.
Let's see what he's got. Looks like he's going the outside path, the natural path. Look for him to get around the 12 ball.
Yep.
He's got to get around it.
Perfect.
I don't know.
That's perfect.
Oh, man, that's so close. That is so close. He's got it. Wow, it just rolled enough. That 12 was so big in the path there. Good out from Trevor. Well done, well done. And that's going to bring them to a 7-8. And Jeantel on table 1 is on the, believe.
That one's Dave. Dave's
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That is Dave. You're right.
He might be playing Jeantel, but
yeah, sorry about that. That is Dave for Bob and Sons. And he gets the 8 ball in.
And the cue ball still running.
And that's going to give Bob and Son a 9-7 lead. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. All right. I don't have a copy of the score sheet in front of me, so I don't really know like who's up next. But I know Alex Brown is racking, so he's racking and breaking. Yeah, that get around that 12 ball was the key for the 8 ball. Good job. Just barely made it. Yeah, it's Trevor coming over here to talk about his out. It was close. He said it
Put
was
in some
very
work.
close. He has been putting in some work. Oh, all of you Medford guys, I feel like you guys are just like constantly working on your games. I see so much talent and such a dramatic improvement of every player, it seems like, in the Medford area. So whatever's in the water over there seems to be working. Very strong pool community, Medford area. Okay, so Bob Olson at the table after the dry break from Alex. And on table one, looks like Dylan Helfenston working through a rack. Not sure who his opponent is yet over there. But this one is Bob Olson versus Alex Brown. We're not going to be able to really see this on camera if he's taking this shot, because this is he's going to be using the bridge. Yeah, there's no way you can really. I guess you could lean over the table and shoot it if you're right-handed, but Bob is a lefty. And being a lefty, this makes this a lot tougher. Good shot, though. He just used his extension. He said, I'm not using a bridge. I would have used the bridge there. Well, I'm right-handed, so I would have just leaned over and shot it. But if it was a lefty, I don't like even with an extension. I don't like leaning my body way over the table like that. It's just hard to get control.
I feel like I've got a little bit more control with my extension than I do with the bridge, but it depends on the shot. For over top of the ball, can't do it.
Right, bridge. You can't. Yeah, that's true.
7-foot table, I can almost reach corner to corner, fairly comfortable. That still takes away some accuracy, though.
Yeah. So Bob getting going here. 6 does play, I believe, in the side. Might also play in the corner, but if it plays in the side and you can leave that leaves a 14 alone, you don't want to touch the 14 because that is a problem ball. It looks like it's right on the point. Yeah. Yeah, the 14 is just terrible. So, but if Bob does everything right, it won't matter. Alex won't get to the table if he does everything right here. Nice shot there to avoid the 4. No collisions. That's always good. Did not want to bump the 4. So another stretched out shot for Bob. No problem. We've got Julian on table 1. Oh, Bob misses the 4 ball. Opportunity for Alex. Now we're going to find out how tough that 14 really is. It's really tough. So Alex has got a chance. But you can't set up for the 14 on this side unless you're on the rail. I mean, you've got to be flat on the rail, no angle at all. So he can either attack the 14 from down here or bump it out. And kind of your only 2 options with that ball.
And he can get down below it on the 13 too. So he's got some options to get down here. So he's probably in the way for the 11 to knock it off of the rail a little bit.
Oh, where's this going to go? Where's this going to end up? Oh, I don't know. If he can look at the 10, he might be okay for a safety.
Let's hide it behind 15.
Yeah, I don't know how much he can see on that 10 ball. But yeah, if he can see the 10 full, it's a nice, easy, and I won't say easy, nothing's easy. Because he not only has to hide behind the 15, he has to make sure that it's flush to the 15 so that he can't see the 1 or the 4 ball. You know, just a stop shot doesn't cut it here. You have to. I think he might have the 15 in the side, actually, the way he's queuing on this. Yeah, he does. It was hard to tell from our camera angle. Oh, and he scratched in the corner. Really unfortunate for Alex and the big break theory, because that gives Bob Olson a chance to put his team on the hill. So Bob electing to go 5-1-4. Now he's got funny already right off the bat with ball in hand. He got funny on this. He's kind of put his hand up like, how did I get here with ball in hand?
Overran it.
So yeah, ball in hand, he overran the 1 ball, and that creates an angle to the 4. Quite a bit of angle. So he's made this quite a bit harder than he needed to. But Bob is such a good player that, you know, he can get out. Even if he made a positional error, it's no problem. He might just do a stop shot here and stay on this side of the 11 to play the 8, or draw back for the 8 in the other pocket. That's easier. Look at that control. And Bob and Son on the hill with that 8 ball. And big break theory on the verge of going to the B side in the first round. I would have never guessed. If that's what ends up happening, I would have never guessed it, because this is one of my favorites. One of my picks out of the Platinum teams. So much talent, but you got to get it done. And Alex has made a couple of errors in this match. Trevor's made a couple of errors, you know, and those
one that was just
yeah. So just a few shots that they'd like to have back that are really the difference in this match.
That's all it takes. One miss.
But on table 1, we might switch over to our commentary on table 1, because, you know, let's do that. Let's go over to table 1 for our commentary. So if you guys are listening to this and you want to hear us, jump over to table 1 on the channel.